We've just about sorted out the financial situation from the last episode, and we're looking for much success on the pitch. We're close to the Champions League places, and we're also in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. We've really had a successful run since last episode. We'll start with the FA Cup. It's been quite a generous draw for us. We've only played Championship teams so far. We've got another one coming up today in Coventry. But we've dispatched of obviously Crystal Palace, you saw in the last episode. Leicester were next, we beat them 1-0. We then took on Huddersfield, beat them 4-2. And that leads us into this game against Coventry in the Premier League. It's been very good for us as well. Everton were the first team up, we beat them 2-1. Manchester City were the only real blot on this run, a 2-0 defeat away at their place. But then two fantastic results at home against Arsenal and Manchester United. We beat Arsenal 2-1, Santos and Leonardo Costa with goals before Lee Dilly with an expert finish against Manchester United from the edge of the box to give us a slim 1-0 lead. Bit of a classic match against Liverpool followed 3-3. They got an penalty in the 88th minute, which ultimately they did equalise from, but that didn't deter us. We beat Bournemouth 5-2. Then a disappointing result against bottom half Middlesbrough. We could only get a 1-1 draw there, but then we came from behind to beat West Ham 2-1. Little grabbing himself a couple of goals in that game, and it leaves us 4th place in the Premier League. Obviously Chelsea have a few games in hand over us, Aston Villa have some games in hand, so the table could look very different come the end of it, but it's nice to be there at the moment, and it'll give teams that little bit of feel that we can go all the way, and it gives us the confidence that we can go all the way as well. Interesting to note, when we did play Spurs in the last episode, they were top of the table by some margin. We find ourselves only 2 points behind them now, so they've really bottled things in recent games. So yeah, hopefully we can take advantage of that and find ourselves moving up the table some more. We concentrate on the FA Cup at first though. Already Spurs have just been knocked out of that, but West Ham have gone through. We're looking at the Fulham-Newcastle game as well. If Fulham could spring a surprise, then it would arguably leave ourselves and Arsenal as favourites to win the competition. So we need to do our job today, but we've got one eye on what could happen in that game as well, just in the hope there's another upset in there. Just before we get into those games, Chiriac did complete his move to Bologna. We got £24 million for him, so we got our money back times 10 for what we paid from him. Was a very good servant of the club. Obviously qualifies as homegrown, so in a world where we need homegrown players, we could very well see Chiriac come back to the club. But he's gone to Italy for the time being, and hopefully he'll continue to flourish there, and like we say, maybe paths could reunited in the future. We did say we weren't going to be spending any money though, but yeah, kind of had to go out and splurge. We were looking a bit light up top after loaning out a couple of players, so we brought in Gabriel. It was an £8.5 million deal, so it does still leave us in a positive balance bringing him in. Don't think we're going to be in a positive balance come the end of the season, mind, but we'll deal with that when that comes. But looks like he could be a decent little youngster, and we're going to be getting our first glimpse of him today. We've got Milinkovic and Francisco both out injured, not fit for the game, so Gabriel does find himself starting in that attacking midfielder position. He's behind Owen Foy with Santos and Pereira next to him as well. Hopefully having Pereira next to him, a Brazilian compatriot there with him, will help him just take to the game with a little bit more ease. Patino and Arnott are in behind them with Raul Engelin, and another new boy, Severio Radici, was the first signing that we actually made in the summer transfer window. Didn't actually join us until January. He's played a couple of games in the FA Cup so far, hasn't set the world alight, but hasn't been awful, so hopefully we'll see a decent performance from him today. Alvarez is next to him with Caetano in behind in goal. Despite the lofty success we are having in the Premier League, we still haven't won a trophy throughout the save, so we definitely want to go ahead and get some success. So we're looking to go all the way this year. Obviously we got close in a couple of competitions last year, lost in the final of the Carabao Cup, lost in the semi-final of the Europa League. So we really want to go ahead and actually get all the way in one. If we can get to another final and just go ahead and win that, then it would hopefully give the players confidence to go out and just start rattling in the trophies as well. So that's the ultimate aim for the FA Cup this season. We want to win it now. We've seen lots of the big teams have been knocked out, and like we were saying before, us and Arsenal, if we get through this, are arguably going to be the favourites to go out and win the whole thing. We need to be doing our job. So yeah, we'll get on the pitch and hopefully the boys can put in a strong attacking performance. We find ourselves with half an hour gone, the first real opportunity of the match. It's been yet another really dull FA Cup game for us, but hopefully it's going to start to liven up a bit now. We say that and the highlight ends almost instantly. Patino came close to scoring from a free kick, but yet again it's been another disappointing game of football. We're ramping up the pressure a bit now though. Haven't seen many opportunities, but looking at the match stats, we are starting to find our footing in the game. Sintas now, he's started to pick up some form on the left hand side. We were playing him on the right for a lot of the season, but now that he's on the left hand side, he's getting assists, he's got a couple of goals as well. So I think he's a bit more confident in that position. That's going to be disallowed for offside. Owen Foy really began his run a little bit too early. He was one of the players who got us over the Huddersfield game. He got a couple of goals in that match, but he's not going to be able to follow that one up yet with a goal in this game. We say it now, Pereira with the ball through, very, very, very offside. Not really sure why he was that far offside. Very disappointing from him. I think, despite the fact that he is a nice player to have, obviously we've had him for a while now, I think next season Owen Foy might have to be replaced in the team. We need to get more goals up top, and Lee Dilly, we want him to be a one club player, so I want him to stick around for as long as possible, and that leaves Owen Foy as the one who could find himself leaving the club. His form hasn't been great. Obviously we've got Gabriel Pereira, who is actually a striker, but we want to look to bring another one in as well and get that little bit more quality in there. This has been a very, very poor game. We are going to bring on Callum Dixon in place of Patino, just to see what the young man can offer. He came on in the last FA Cup round against Huddersfield. Didn't really do much, but it was nice to see him on the pitch. We're going to bring on Leonardo Costa instead of Owen Foy as well. Costa can go out to that right hand side. In fact, we'll swap him and Sintas around as well, just to give this Coventry defence something extra to think about, and we'll move on to a positive mentality because we really need to start carving out a few more opportunities in the game. We've got a free kick in a lovely position. It's going to be the youngster Callum Dixon stepping up as well, and he hits it off the underside of the bar. That's a very good free kick from the young man to get it up and down from where he was. It's a very good achievement. We'll bring on Steenwood now in place of Sintas. Costa can go out that right hand side. Steenwood can move out to the left. And we're going to bring on Little Whittle as well in behind Pereira. Not quite going to bring on Lee Dilly yet. We're actually going to bring on the score in place of Alvarez. Pretty sure this one won't go to a replay. It will just go to extra time. So we maybe have one more change in our back pocket if we need it, but we need to demand more yet again because we don't want to go to extra time. We've got the Newcastle game coming up in 3 days' time, so extra time in this game would be a little bit of a nightmare for us. Costa now on the ball on that right hand side. He tries to drift into the box. He manages to get there and fires an effort into the bottom corner. He wants to make sure that he doesn't play any extra time either. He wants to have a rest before that Newcastle game. And he did such a fantastic job there. Steenwood fed him the ball, but he had so much work to do. He ended up with 2 Coventry players around him. He burst past both of them, and a very, very accomplished finish into that bottom corner. I think Steenwood may have been tempted to stick a foot out and divert it to the net himself, but probably would have been disallowed for offside if he did. We've got probably about 10 minutes left in the game. Would love the security of a second goal, and hopefully we can go out and get a Coventry with a long boot upfield, which Caetano does get a hold of, and he responds by booting it upfield himself. Little Whittle's not going to be able to beat the Coventry defence in that position, so bit of a wasted kick upfield and giving Coventry the ball. It's not what we want to see. Hopefully we'll win it back soon, but Coventry looking to come forward. Dixon though gets it, plays into Pereira. He wins the ball fantastically, and Steenvouden can come forward now. He gets it to Pereira and very unselfishly plays it across the box to Costa. He finds the back of the net. He was in an offside position though. I think this one will be disallowed. Maybe Pereira needs to have a little bit more of a selfish streak in him. Very easily could have shot and got the goal himself. Obviously thought Costa was in a better position, but yeah, you can see an offside was definitely there, and we don't quite double our lead on this occasion. But I hope that doesn't come back to haunt us though. Pereira again with the ball, gets it to Steenvouden. His hold-up play has been very delightful, and Whittle can't quite find the back of the net to give us that advantage. But since Pereira's moved up top, he has shown a couple of glimpses of good hold-up play, bringing other players into the game. And yeah, like we were saying before, if we do need a new striker for next year, Pereira can obviously compete there, but yeah, would be good to have another option as well. Steenvouden, he gets another goal. He's been in a very rich vein of form recently. He grabbed a hat-trick in one of our recent games. I can't quite remember which one it was. I think it may have been against Bournemouth, but he was complaining about a lack of first team football at the beginning of the season, but he had a little injury, came back into the team after we promised him some first team football, and he's repaid us very well. He's closing in on double figures for the season now in goals. He gives us that 2-0 advantage, and he sees us through to the semi-final. So we will be having at least one trip to Wembley this season. Hopefully we'll win there and turn it into 2 trips. But great to see us go through. Hopefully we'll see who we're playing in that semi-final as well, and we can look forward to that one coming up in the next episode. Just got the little matter of Newcastle, and it's our old boy Jordan Ross who got the winner against Newcastle. He's had a lovely season down in the Championship with Fulham, and he's actually had a very good FA Cup as well. He must have got a hat-trick in his first game, and then obviously scoring against his old club in Newcastle. We're going to hope that if we do get drawn against Fulham, he's not going to repeat that against us. But lovely to see him knocking out another Premiership team. So the way this run's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if we did get Fulham to see ourselves up against another Championship team in the semi-final. We are the only club outside of London though to reach the semi-final stage, so we're representing the rest of England, and hopefully we can take the glory away from the capital. We are going to go ahead and view the semi-final draw. Obviously we don't really do this too much, but it's an exciting time. West Ham are the first team up, so we're going to see who they get drawn against. We're going to hope that we do have Fulham. It will be nice to see Jordan Ross again, and it is Fulham that we are playing. West Ham and Arsenal, obviously the first 2 teams out. It doesn't really matter who the home team is because it's going to be played at Wembley. But we're going to be having a reunion with Jordan Ross. Hopefully we're not going to see a repeat of what he did in the last round where he scored against an old club, but represents a real opportunity for us to go ahead and get ourselves into the final. Fulham are really rocking the Championship this year. 9 points clear of Sunderland in second place with a game in hand as well. So yeah, they're looking to get promoted straight back to the Premier League, and we'll be meeting them at Wembley in a few games time. Not many games in between now and then. Obviously we're going to be concentrating on the Newcastle game up next, but it's a very exciting time for us. We'll get the players rested, ready, and hopefully we'll continue the good form against Newcastle as well. We'll see you there in a few moments. Back for the Newcastle game, naturally we've changed the full team. Jimenez returns in goal. The score: Jones, Santos and Fuda make up the defence. Silai, Matsushita, Steenvouden, Whittle and Costa in behind Lee Dilly. The Newcastle game does actually represent my 500th game in management, so it's an exciting time for us. It's a bit of a nervy one for the first team that we were with, South Shields. They find themselves 20th in League 2, but only 6 points ahead of Wickham in that final relegation spot as well. So yeah, looking a bit nervy for them. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the season. But obviously for us, it's a huge game in the Premier League today. got the opportunity maybe to go above Arsenal in the table and above Spurs into second place, which I didn't actually realise. So yeah, very, very exciting time for us. Manchester City probably won the league already, but we'll try to get as close as we can. But this is the team that hopefully can go out, get a good win against Newcastle, carry on the good form and see us rise even further up the league. This is our final season at Edgeley Park, and we've already had lots of good results here this year. So hopefully it's another one that we can get in front of the home fans. They're going to be waving goodbye to this stadium at the end of the year before we do move into the gym at Gannon Arena. Hopefully we're going to be gracing it with Champions League football, but we've got big games between now and then. So we need to put in some strong performances. We've got a good counter-attack opportunity here. Steenvouden down the left-hand side. He cuts into the box, plays it to Matashita, and now the score gets it to Lee Dilly, who cracks his header off the crossbar. It would have been offside anyway. But strong counter-attack from us to get down to the under end of the pitch quickly. And we've troubled Newcastle early on. Find ourselves with another opportunity in the 36 minutes. Steenvouden's going to whip the free kick in. Obviously, Santos is a danger man for us, but he plays it to Matashita at the edge instead. Matashita's shot squirms through the gloves of the keeper but can't quite get over the line, and it remains 0-0, but another close opportunity for us. It'd be great to see one of these opportunities fly into the back of the net. Santos now on the ball at the back, gets it into Costa. He finds Little Whittlebert past his man. Can he find Lee Dilly in the box? He's been joined by Steenvouden at the back post, but Newcastle managing to get this one away and maybe looking to counter themselves. Ramirez down the right hand side, can't get past Steenvouden though. It's great work from him to actually get back and get into the defensive position. The score had gone quite high up the pitch and he finds himself on the ball now. He cuts inside and lets off a fantastic effort from the edge of the area. The Newcastle keeper is equal to it, but we're on top and we need to start taking advantage of this dominance anytime soon. Would be great. We're looking for Santos at the back post with the corner. Matashita and Santos have formed a good little combination from these set pieces this year, but so far in this game we haven't been able to find the back of the net despite all the opportunities we have had. And we've had this situation a few times. It only takes one opportunity for teams like Newcastle to get back into the game, and we don't want it to be able to happen. So the sooner we make the most of our opportunities, the better. Leonardo Costa is not playing his usual game today, so Sintas can come on that right hand side. Whittle as well is putting in a bit of a poor performance, so I think we're going to see Gabriel Pereira come on and we'll actually change around this front three. Steenvouden can go into the middle, Sintas on the left, Pereira on the right hand side. And Silai, in a game of this magnitude, we don't want to risk going down to 10 men, so Peter Arnott can come on and just offer us something a little bit different in the middle of the park as well. So we'll see how those changes do for us. We have an early opportunity and Arnott picks up the ball. Is he going to get a shot away from the edge of the box? Kinda wish he hadn't. It was a very, very poor effort, and his first opportunity in the game is very, very wasted. Newcastle now coming down the left hand side themselves. Aaron Hickey on the ball with a left footed shot, which Jimenez does well to push behind. It's a Newcastle corner though, we need to stay alert. Got lots of players there. Santos being a giant in the middle, so hopefully we're going to be seeing this one headed away with ease. Newcastle win it low at the near post, hit the bar I think from the first effort. Second effort takes a deflection from our defender and Newcastle keep the pressure up. We want to get this one away from our box and just give ourselves less nervy situations to deal with. Corner comes to nothing, and now hopefully we can resume normal service and start going forward ourselves. But Newcastle looking to ruin the day. We'll give a shout to demand more, because it's not nice to see Newcastle coming back into this game. They're going down the left hand side. They've got Peter Arnott for company though. He wins the ball and he finds Matashita. We play it back to Jimenez and he gets the ball away from our goal, which is always a lovely sight to see. Lee Dilly now tries to find Pereira. Pereira's through. Can he add to his tally for the season? He can't. He's got 3 goals, can't make it 4. The keeper again comes up with a save, but Matsushita is going to be looking for that near post area, and Santos is such a presence in there. He's going to not even challenge for the ball, but he plays it back to Steenvouden. It's a wasted effort. We've wasted so many opportunities in this game. Steenvouden tiring quite a bit. He played obviously a lot of football in the last match. Owen Foy can come on in his place. The score is very close to dying a bit of a death as well, so Alvarez can come on at left back for our final change and hopefully add something down that left hand side. Paul Fuda as well apparently took a little bit of a hit, but we don't have any more changes, so we need him to see out the remainder of the game. We're going to give one last shout. We're going to encourage the players. We're going to go very attacking first stoppage time and just try to risk getting this winning goal. Newcastle on the ball now with Aaron Hickey at right back. They play it forward. Oscar's on the ball. He's got Jones for company. Santos cuts out the cross though and gets it out. He's looking for Sintas on the left hand side. Sintas with the ball now. And now one last opportunity for us maybe. Sintas cutting in field, finding Peter on it. He's wasted one shot already, but he doesn't waste this one. Owen Foy couldn't find the finish. There was a lot of bobbling around inside that box, but we have one final opportunity from a corner maybe. Newcastle get it clear low, and now with an opportunity to counter. Oscar looking to go all the way himself though, but Paul Fuda reading the situation fantastically, cutting out any opportunity for the counter. But unfortunately we haven't been able to get that win today despite the dominance that we showed in the game, and could turn into very much a missed opportunity for us. Obviously Chelsea behind us in the league do have a few games in hand, and they'll be looking to take advantage of us not being able to get that win. They have just won 3-0 themselves, and that closes the gap to 4 points, and they do still have 2 games in hand. So that gives the next episode even more significance. Obviously we're going to be coming back for the Fulham game, and that will be followed up by that game against Chelsea. It'll be a huge game for us in the hunt for these Champions League places, and obviously in the hunt for a trophy this season as well. So make sure to come back for the episode. If you have enjoyed this one, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel for regular Football Manager content. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.